Hello, everybody. Thank you so much for joining us right now for Atlanta News First Plus as we look outside over the city of Atlanta on a gray, chilly start to this Sunday. I'm Megan Packer. Thanks so much for checking in with us here with a check of some of the day's news. And we do have some breaking news into our newsroom right now. If you've been following the story out of Middle Georgia, we told you weeks ago there were 4 inmates who escaped from the Bibb County Jail. 2 of them were captured until this morning when a third was found. So take a look right here. These are the 4 men who escaped, according to authorities. The man on the far left of your screen here, Jonathan Barnwell, was found at a home in Augusta just after 8 o'clock this morning. The FBI, several different agencies were working this case when they tracked him down. He was found in a house, and they say there were large amounts of drugs in that house as well. One of the escaped inmates remains on the run, 52-year-old Joey Fournier, who was being held for murder. There is a $5,000 reward offered by the FBI for his capture, and that leads him back to jail. Now, they all escaped from the jail, according to authorities, back in October through a damaged window and a cut fence. A car pulled up and helped them get away. A few weeks ago, one of them was found in Buckhead. And again, the headline right now is that the third of 4 escaped inmates was found today in Augusta. I'll show you the photos one more time. The man here on the far right of your screen, 52-year-old Joey Fournier, is the one who remains on the run today. And one of the big stories here in Atlanta this weekend, the massive apartment fire in Northeast Atlanta. These 2 people are in jail right now. They are accused of starting that fire. And police, investigators, firefighters believe this is all related to fireworks. They say the 2 were setting off fireworks on this building. Look at this aerial shot overhead of the it's not only apartments, but it's also businesses right there in Northeast Atlanta. It's on La Vista near Cheshire Bridge Road. And there were 2 people, Robert Stokes, Charnel Gunn, each facing multiple charges. Hundreds of people were affected by this fire, including 28 people who lost their apartments. But as you can imagine, hundreds are affected. We know at least 1 pet was killed in that fire. So working to learn more from investigators about these 2 suspects, if additional charges could be coming, and where the investigation stands today. But we had a crew out there this morning, and there were still firefighters out there more than 24 hours later. It was about 10:30, 10:45 Friday night this started. There were hot spots all throughout that night. It actively burned for at least 8 hours yesterday. So there is just so much cleanup ahead. And it's not only this building that's affected, it's businesses across the street. They had to get their power cut off. That was affecting their businesses. But as we look at that video there of the overhead footage, it's just amazing to know that nobody was seriously injured. So we will keep you updated here at Atlanta News First Plus as we learn more about that. There was an overnight shooting in the city of Atlanta. It happened downtown, and a man was killed in that shooting. We have some information from police. They tell us a 25-year-old man was shot multiple times and later died at the hospital. It was not far from underground Atlanta, and officers at last check had not shared what exactly happened. They did say that there was a fight that escalated, but as far as who any suspects could be, if they've made any arrests, we're still waiting to learn that from Atlanta police. Something else making headlines out of the city of Atlanta is this proposal to keep bars open later. And specifically, we are talking about extending last call. What do you think about a 4 a.m. last call? That is the proposal from City Councilwoman Keisha Shawn Waits, and it would, again, propose that last call would stay open until 4 a.m. She says that this would help the city compete with neighboring cities and counties that stay open until 3, and that it would bring in more money for police. Listen to what Councilwoman Waits said.
The sweet spot from individuals that I have spoken to seems to be right around 3 a.m. because our neighbors in DeKalb County, the bar closing hours is 3 a.m.
So there is a public session tomorrow at Atlanta City Hall, 1 o'clock, with public comment. You can go out and weigh in on this if you would like to do so and speak up. So what do you think? 4 a.m., last call. Okay, anybody who wears a smartwatch, you know that these things can do everything nowadays, right? They tell you how many steps you're taking, help you with your health, and nobody knows that more so than one man who he says his Apple Watch helped save his life. It's a pretty incredible story, and we've got our reporter Joshua Skinner here at Atlanta News First who spoke to this man about what happened to him. Take a look at this.
Life is a canvas for little 5 Points resident Bob Ichter. He's spent the past 40 years painting for a living, and before that,
I was actually pre-med.
He's by no means a medical expert, so when Ichter's heart rate began fluctuating wildly during a February bike ride, he jumped to the same conclusion most of us would.
I thought, well, this watch isn't very accurate. Maybe I don't have it on tight enough or something like that.
But the incident and his friends kept nagging at him, so he went to see a doctor.
Turns out that I had an undiagnosed heart defect where my aortic valve was a bicuspid instead of tricuspid.
Ichter had gone into atrial fibrillation, or AFib.
I wouldn't have known it was AFib if it weren't for the fact that the watch told me.
His painting went on the back burner, replaced by heart surgery and a nearly month-long hospital stay.
Great doctors at Piedmont replaced my aortic valve.
Ichter is thankful for those doctors. He also wrote a thank you email to Apple CEO Tim Cook. Cook wrote back.
Hi, Bob. I'm so glad you sought medical attention and received the treatment you needed. Thanks so much for sharing your story with us. Be well and keep pedaling. Best, Tim.
Ichter is back on the bike, back in his studio, and back out of AFib. And the artist he is, his experience has him thinking abstractly about the meaning of an apple a day.
Oh, it was not going to last much longer, they said.
In little 5 Points, Joshua Skinner, Atlanta News First.
An apple a day. Wow, incredible. And just a reminder, of course, don't solely rely on your smartwatches for health situations like that. Of course, get to your doctor as soon as possible if you have any concerns about anything. But how about that? Plus the email to and from Tim Cook to boot. Pretty interesting. All right, well, we'll take a quick look here at First Alert Radar. First Alert Chief Meteorologist Jennifer Valdez joined us earlier today, if you were with us for our Sunday morning newscast, and she was telling us that the rain really was moving out already. So you can see it's dry on the radar right now. So we can salvage 1 out of 2 days. We had that rainy Saturday yesterday, but today is dry for you to get out there and run those errands or do whatever you need to do before the week starts. It is chilly, though. Jennifer was telling us that we weren't going to get too warm and don't really expect to see much sunshine today. So chilly and kind of gray as we head into the work and school week tomorrow. So keep it right here throughout the day. Our team will keep you updated. Make sure you download our First Alert Weather app and our Atlanta News First app. That's where we update everything throughout the day. I'm Megan Packer. It was great to have you check in with us, and we will keep you updated as all of these news stories develop here in Atlanta. Have a great day.